My name is Renee Williams, and I'm the co-chair of Othello Park Alliance, along with Daphne Snyder, who's not able to be here today. OPA is a group of residents who work to ensure that the park that you're in right now is retained, enhanced, and with the mission of integrating it into a vibrant, multicultural, pedestrian-friendly Othello Park Center and residential community. This 7.5-acre park was purchased by the city in 1976. Seattle dedicated itself to creating a place for our community and provided an opportunity to build a safe haven for people to gather, to experience nature, and to enjoy a beautiful open space. Now it is a cornerstone that unites communities of diverse neighborhoods, including Brighton, New Holly, Hillman City, Beacon Hill, and Rainier Beach. 98118 is the most diverse zip code in the country. It's where more than 59 different languages are spoken. Othello Park provides an accessible space for everyone to enjoy, whether it be running through the hills, playing basketball, or zipping on the zip line. Seattle parks play a key role in creating thriving communities, and Othello Park is a great example of this. In 2006, in response to community concerns about crime and the impact of negative behaviors in Othello Park, the Department of Parks and Recreation came and asked us for assistance. Since then, OPA has become an institution in the Othello Park neighborhood, providing vital services for the park. We've involved in capital development, environmental restoration, and organizing community activities for the park. A few results of our efforts include improved lighting, the signage that you see, the zip line, and this very stage. And yet to come is a rainforest and many other improvements to our park. Now, the park is viewed in an increasingly more safer environment, and it's more positively identified as by the community. It's a very different park from when I moved to this area over 30 years ago. At that time, I wouldn't dream of bringing my 2 young daughters here to play. But now, on most any day or evening, the park is full of families with children. Folks are walking their pets, and you see joggers on the trails. OPA initially held small concerts in the park. These events gradually gave birth to a new tradition, the annual Othello Park Music and Art Festival. And that's being held this year in August, Sunday on the August 17th, from noon to 6. Bring your family and friends and join us. And our theme this year is Come Play With Us. So enjoy music, art, games, bouncy houses, dancing, and we have a camel, and he's going to bring his friends with him. Now remember that date, Sunday, August 17th. Parks like ours have a great opportunity to be a positive and safe place for people to connect with the outdoors, enjoy the joys of nature, active lifestyles, relaxation, and community. We're here today to talk about something I am personally excited about and that I believe will remind everyone of just what a great resource our parks are. So, without further ado, I'm thrilled to introduce Mayor Ed Murray to talk about a summer campaign that will truly rock our city.
Well, thank you, and this is a very exciting moment as we talk about pianos in the parks, and we unveil one of them very shortly. There's a few folks that I want to acknowledge who make our parks the great places they are and have made this activity a great activity, and I want to introduce and acknowledge Councilmember Bagshaw and Councilmember Godden, who are both here. And I want to thank Renee Williams for your incredible work for making this park and engaging the neighbors in the way that you have. Your leadership is the type of leadership we need throughout the city to be sure that our parks are vital centers of activities and not areas of problems. I want to thank some folks who helped sponsor this. Laird Norton, the Seattle Parks Department. I can talk this morning. Christopher Williams, our director, is here. Where's Christopher? There he is. King County Parks Department, and the county executive is here, Constantine. Seattle Symphony, KEXP, the Gage Academy, and class. This is my own fault. I wrote down my own remarks. Classic pianos. That's what I wrote. Okay, classic pianos. So my apologies. So this is, parks actually are more than just physical space. Parks are also about the programs and activities that happen in them. By activating our parks, we make it a place of community regardless of class or race. We make our cities safer. And programs like the one we are about to do is key to our efforts for a summer of safety and for a lifetime of safety in Seattle. So the type of thing that you are about to see with pianos in the parks touches all of those things: community, breaking down class and racial divides, and making us a safer city. And to keep our parks going, I just want you to all look at Councilmember Bagshaw for a minute and remember to vote in the primary in August. Hopefully I did not get a complaint filed against me for saying that. So now is the exciting moment in which we are about to see the very first park piano in a park in Seattle. So I'm supposed to go... There it worked. Here we go. And now I'm going to go over and play the piano and sing for you. No, not happening. I'm going to introduce some great talent, Shenandoah Davis and Sean Nelson, who will actually entertain you, unlike I can't. So welcome. Let's hear the great entertainment.
Across the table for hours, we'll not leave without proof. We didn't come this far for nothing. We didn't come for the view. I've seen the robbers and fools, and when they crawl from their tombs, they catch us all by surprise. When we divide into two, all that remains will be new, with just the ground at our sides. And if you understand, even the youngest can, with any sense of pride, leave the old to die. Don't wanna tell you nothing till I am telling the truth, till I have written the whole thing out, till I have the news.
Thank you, Sean and Shenandoah. That was fantastic. I am Kate Becker. I am the director of... Yes, please, let's give them another round of applause. Love you guys. My name is Kate Becker. I'm the director of the city's Office of Film and Music, and I am particularly thrilled to be here today because this initiative brings together two of the things that I love most about living in Seattle, our unbelievable park system and our incredible music scene. And they are mixed together in all of this. So this is really a thrilling moment. I am happy to tell you that there are 20, sorry, we're getting some wind interference. There are 20 of these pianos throughout the city and the county. 15 of them are in the city and 5 of them are in the county. This idea originally generated from Laird Norton Wealth Management, who are our underwriters and who have paid for all of this. So could we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you. So Laird Norton Wealth Management, in collaboration with their PR agency, 206 Inc., wanted to come up with an idea, a way to get people appreciating our parks using arts and music as a catalyst. I'm sorry, I can't stop the wind interference here. So they wanted to do this, and they came up with this piano in the parks idea in Seattle and decided to launch it engaging multiple community partners. So I have had the good fortune to work over the last few months with KEXP, the Seattle Symphony, Gage Academy of Art, Classic Pianos, Play Network, Seattle Parks, and King County Parks, all at the table at Laird Norton Wealth Management. And these have been some tremendous partners. So I also want to tell you that everyone can be a part of this campaign, whether you play the piano or not. If you don't play the piano, come by in a quiet moment and play one of these pianos when there's not a lot of people around. If you do play the piano and you'd like to have a way to have a shot at playing at the final KEXP mural concert at Seattle Center, videotape your performance, post it to Facebook, and the top 5 performances that get the most amount of likes will be considered by a panel who will then decide who is playing at the final performance at the KEXP mural concert at Seattle Center on August 22nd. And then at the end, we're going to auction off these pianos. So again, there are 20 of them. You can see them all on the Pianos in the Parks website, pianosintheparks.com, and the Facebook page. And you'll get to see all of them. So please bid on them because they benefit our nonprofit partners when you do. Lastly, I would like to point out 5 people who are here who help keep our music scene alive in Seattle. Music commissioners Tom Mara, Holly Hinton, Patty Saby, Y. King Garrett, and Nadine Zong. Thank you all. And now it is my tremendous honor to introduce someone who I knew as a music lover long before I knew him as a politician, and that is our King County Executive, Dow Constantine. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And I will be long after. King County's parks and trails are as diverse as the communities we serve. From bustling Marymoor Park, come see a show. We're all booked up this summer. It's a great lineup. To the peaceful panoramic views along the Sammamish River Trail, King County offers parks and trail experiences for just about every taste. These are places where we seek time to spend with family and friends or to get a little me time, a place to take the dog for a walk or to catch a concert or play soccer. And these parks, in my view, are essential in making a neighborhood a community. They often become the community's core, in fact, focal points of activity and interaction and engagement. With more than 175 miles of regional trails and 200 miles of backcountry trails and 26,000 acres of open space, King County Parks has been building stronger communities for more than 3/4 of a century now. And through our partnership with Laird Norton Wealth Management and Seattle Parks, we've added one more unique feature that visitors to our parks and trails can enjoy this summer. Through Pianos in the Parks, pianos are now in place for the public at Marymoor. You can play along with the show if you wish. Steve Cox Memorial Park in White Center, along the Burke-Gilman Trail, and 2 along the Sammamish River Trail. And this summer, visitors to these popular locations will have the opportunity to channel their inner Fats Waller or Jerry Lee Lewis or Frédéric Chopin or whoever you choose. It is a fun, interactive addition to the wide range of activities in our King County parks. And it's partnerships like these that help strengthen our parks and trails. I thank Mayor Murray and his team, particularly the incomparable Kate Becker, for championing this program. And I particularly want to thank Bob Moser and Laird Norton Wealth Management for their continued support of King County Parks and for spearheading the creation of the King County Parks Foundation. Pianos in the Parks has several other partners, including one of the most influential and eclectic radio stations on the planet, over on the left of the dial, KEXP. As some of you know, in an earlier career of sorts, I was a DJ at KEXP's predecessor, KCMU, the student-run college station at the University of Washington. Things have changed marginally since I was behind the mic. For instance, we played vinyl records pretty much exclusively. That is because compact discs had not yet been invented when I started there. I am not making this up, kids. And unlike KEXP and their online streaming and their global reach, under favorable circumstances, you might be able to pick up our signal on Capitol Hill. Might. But the important things remain the same: the love of music, the commitment to arts in our community, and that's why I am pleased to be able to now welcome to the microphone KEXP Associate Program Director and weekday morning DJ, John Richards.
He keeps asking for a show, and I said if we get into our new home, then I'll think about it. And really quickly, I do want to thank the mayor and the city for supporting our new home and all of our efforts at the Seattle Center. It's going to be something really amazing. And that is what KXP is all about. Our mission is to champion music and discovery by providing rich musical experiences both on the air, online, in the streets, and as we've proven with our free mural shows, outside in green spaces. We're very big on that. We want to make sure the green spaces, the open spaces that we all cherish here in this city, the spaces that Seattleites need. Let's face it, we need a place we can all run into each other and talk to one another. Sometimes there may be a bit of a Seattle freeze, as you've heard, and I find the parks when I'm with my kids a great place to open up to my neighbors. I have 2 children. I have a 9-year-old and an 18-month-old, so this is the most relaxed I've ever been in a park right now, this moment. And right after this, I'm going to go to a park with my kids and celebrate this beautiful weather while we can. Recently I was in Paris with my family. We're on vacation. My wife is a very accomplished piano player. We have children in our home taking piano lessons, all better than I am. She's tried with me. It's impossible. So we always have music in our house, and she's a great player. We were in Paris, and there was a piano sitting there outside. I don't know if it's a program or just in Paris. They have pianos everywhere sitting outside. She sat down and played with our 18-month-old on her lap, and everyone in the hustle bustle, being either a tourist or working, anyone in that area stopped and just watched as Amy played. And it was just a great moment, a beautiful moment where everyone just slowed down and stopped for a second. Our little tour pulled up, we got up and left, and everyone went on with their day. But for that moment, everyone was doing what they're supposed to do in a park like this, and that's live in the moment. Kids playing on swings, running under the trees, playing the piano. It's a beautiful thing. The other thing is, if you're a guitar player, you strap a guitar to your back, you go to a park. You're a drummer, you can smack anything, hit a bench, hit your own drum, you can bring a saxophone. A piano player cannot strap a piano to their back and go down to the park, last I checked. I know Shenandoah does that, but it'll be a nice place for people who play to be able to play as well. I just thought of that because they don't have that opportunity. With Pianos in the Park, we wanted to create these experiences. We want to make sure that the Northwest music scene continues to be a place where people can play for the first time. And I love that the winner of this contest we talked about will be playing the mural show in front of thousands of people at our free shows. So make sure you get those on video. And I'll for sure be getting my wife to go out and play and videotaping her performance as well. So I want to make sure everybody gets the word out about that contest. And I want to make sure anyone here who's ever taken a piano lesson gets a little brave and goes out and plays. Even 1 or 2 lessons. Most of us took those as kids, and don't be shy about it. Us Seattleites need to not be shy. We can play in front of each other. So I hope you all do, even if you don't win and get to play the mural show. We will be cheering you on. So thank you, everybody here, our sponsors. Cakesby's very proud to be a part of this. We cannot wait to get these mural shows going in our green spaces down at the Seattle Center, and I can't wait to be on the Burke Gilman and run into some piano playing myself. And I want to introduce our next speaker as well, Simon Woods, the Executive Director of Seattle Symphony now, and thank you all for coming today.
Thanks, John. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. Now, one of the things that's true about orchestra executives across the country is that they're almost always either former or failed musicians, and yeah, yours truly included. So one of the great things about this project is I've always said I'll never play in public when anybody's paying. So one of the great things about this is I'm certainly going to get out there and hope to play some of these pianos, and hopefully there won't be anybody demanding their money back. But we are incredibly proud to be part of this project. I'd like to thank all the partners for this wonderful project. Laird, Norton, Mayor, Dow, Kate, everybody involved in this. It's a really wonderful project. And, you know, at the Seattle Symphony, the days of symphony orchestras playing just for audiences in their concert halls are long gone. We take very seriously our role in helping create healthy communities around our wonderful region. And we work very hard with that. And we have a program that we call Community Connections, which takes music out into communities and brings people into our concert hall, into Benaroya Hall, who don't normally have the opportunity to hear music for whatever reason. And that's a program that we're passionate about, and it reaches thousands of people every year. And we thought this might be a nice opportunity for us to share a little bit of one of those programs with you. We started last year a program which we called the Lullaby Project. And one of the pilot projects for the Lullaby Project we did in conjunction with Mary's Place, and where we brought together our musicians together with homeless women around the community who wrote lullabies for their children. And it was an incredibly inspiring and moving project, which really, I think, more than anything else, shows what creativity there is, even among those who didn't think they have it. And we're going to share one of those songs with you today. And what's especially meaningful for us, well, first of all, I'd like to say welcome to Marty Hartman, Executive Director of Mary's Place. Marty, great to have you here, and thank you so much for all the wonderful work you do in our community. But what's even more moving and fantastic is we've got one of our new composers here, Ashorn, who's over there with her son Michael, for whom she wrote the lullaby you're about to hear. So, Ashorn, I hope that you enjoy this. I hope, actually, more to the point, I hope Michael enjoys it. So, I'm going to introduce now two wonderful artists, Amy Bokanev and Emily Witt, and they're going to play sing and play Ashorn's lullaby, which is called Mommy Loves You. And I hope you enjoy it. And thank you so much for letting us be part of this wonderful program. Thank you.
You to know, Mommy loves you so, so, so much, and I always will. Mommy loves you so, so, so much, and I always will. Devante, I wish that you'll stay true to your dreams. Y'all are my angels. Dear Michael, I wish that y'all will have each other's back. I want y'all to know I'll never leave you. I want you to know. Mommy loves y'all so, so, so much, and I always will. Mommy loves y'all so, so, so much, and I always will. Mommy loves y'all so, so, so much, and I always will. I want y'all to know that I'll never give up on you. I will always love you.
Great stuff. Beautiful song. Thank you very much. Now, we couldn't do any of this without pianos, so it's fantastic to have a partnership of Classic Pianos, and I'd like to introduce Ben Klinger to come from Classic Pianos to say a few words. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you. It is a privilege to be here and humbling, too, to speak to you all. Classic Pianos is thrilled to be part of such an inclusive, far-reaching event, providing opportunities for musical enjoyment to everybody who walks by these pianos and creating memories for years to come, we hope, of playing pianos in the great parks of King County. Every piano has a story, and we're glad to allow these pianos that have been gathered from homes and universities throughout the Northwest to have an epic finale, giving people of all walks of life the chance to enjoy them in a community setting. With every new wave of technology, piano playing has decreased. From radio to television to the internet, we gradually have steered away from engaging with each other directly and have become more passive in our relationships, both to people and to music. As a piano dealer, our mission used to be simple. It was just to sell pianos. But now our mission, in large part, is creating piano awareness and creating opportunities for people to become inspired by the power of live music making. And partnering with such great organizations like this is humbling and also the most effective way for us to reach people and to provide the public the chance to engage in a way that we hope is inspiring and uplifting. You know, music, it's the greatest of all languages, isn't it? It has no barriers at all. We feel its intentions. We all can be moved together despite any philosophical differences we might have. And if we're not captivated uniformly by one style of music, we can try another and another until we've all been spoken to in our native language, which is music. I think music is native to all of us. So we want to thank all of our partners, and again, especially to Laird Norton Wealth Management for approaching and involving Classic Pianos in such a wonderful endeavor. We can't wait to see how the community engages with pianos in the park. And I will say that none of these pianos would look very good if it weren't for Gage Academy of Art. And so it is, again, a privilege for me to be able to introduce Gary Fagan to you, who is the co-founder and the artistic director of Gage Academy of Art. Thank you.
Thanks. And I didn't dare touch any of those keys while I was painting that piano. So it's great to hear it actually used for the purpose for which it was intended. And I think that smile got a little wider while some of those beautiful songs were being played. So thanks to our musicians. And I also want to single out, just in terms of all of our sponsors have already been acknowledged, but particularly I wanted to acknowledge Erin Moyer from Laird Norton, who is also the board president of Gage, and so she originally did the matchmaking. Sheila Hughes, our executive director, who twisted my arm to get me to create Mr. Piano Man here. And Camille Coonrod, intern extraordinaire, who was in the right place at the right time and herded all the cats and got all the artists to do all their good things. So, folks, I hope many of you are familiar with one of the most famous paintings in art history by George Seurat, The Afternoon on the island of the Grand Jatte. It was unveiled to a stunned Parisian art world in 1886, and it was an absolute revolution. It changed art history. But there were two revolutionary things about that painting, and most people only notice the one, which is the fact that he invented pointillism, and he used all these beautifully colored dots, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, to create his beautiful scene. But the other revolutionary thing I just thought about when I was wondering what I was going to talk about today is the fact that what is it actually a painting of? It's a painting of people from all classes of society, all ages, all walks of life, enjoying a beautiful afternoon on a park on the banks of the Seine. Well, what's revolutionary about that? 100 years ago, if you had tried to go to what constituted a park in France, and the most beautiful one was only shortly outside of Paris in Versailles, you would have been escorted to the Bastille for your trouble, unless you were a personal guest of the king. There were no such thing as public parks. Parks were for the royals, and everybody else had to make do with what they had. So once parks were invented, and they really were invented, and it was partly because people in cities had to have somewhere that wasn't just the city streets, artists were immediately drawn to them like bears to honey. And they recreated in parks, they painted parks, and they did paintings of parks. And that tradition continues today. Gage Academy of Art is proud to be a heavy user of the parks of Seattle. Not year-round, I have to say. December, January, not so great for outdoor painting in the parks. But this time of year, if you see 10, 12, 14 people in their easels sitting around in a place like this, or our real favorite haunts, our volunteer park and Discovery Park. We have landscape programs for people of all ages and all levels of experience in the city parks, and I don't know what we would do if they didn't exist. So I'm really proud of the fact that Gage got to contribute to this park, which is celebrating the fact that not only do we get to do in Seattle what all those Parisians were doing 150 years ago on the banks of the Grand Jatte, but we have parks that are at least as good as what they had back then, and there's a lot more of them, and I can't say enough good things about all the times I've spent in parks doing my paintings of the parks as well. So Gage is thrilled to be partnering, thrilled to be part of this project, and let's hear it for the parks of Seattle and King County, green, free, and open to the public forever. And now I'd like to introduce Robert Moser, the president of Laird Norton Wealth Management.
Well, what do you think? It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Pretty amazing to have a community like this, these amazing partners. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Executive Constantine. Thank you, all you incredible, innovative, fun partners of Pianos in the Parks. So you've heard why parks and communities are important from both the City of Seattle and King County. You've heard from Renee talking about what it means to Othello Alliance, from the Seattle Symphony, from KXP, from Gage, and from Classic Pianos. That all seems to make sense to me. They all have skin in the game. So why a wealth management company? Well, our company is a family business that is now in the 7th generation of the family running the company, 160 years. And more than 100 of those years are here in the Pacific Northwest. And what we've learned over those 160 years is that for families to be successful, you must have thriving and vibrant communities, and you must be a passionate steward of the environment. These are our core values by which we run our companies. And if you think about parks, they are the perfect intersection between community and environment. I literally call them the barometer of the health of our communities. This partnership with all these outstanding organizations that you've just heard from, and of course our tremendous parks groups, Seattle Parks and Recreation and King County Parks, is perfectly aligned with our mission and values. And it's through our partners, they allow us to do more than just talk about being good stewards to community and environment. They allow us to put those values in action. Before we close, I want to acknowledge all the partners here today who are willing to jump on board with this crazy idea of putting pianos in the parks. They jumped at the chance. They've turned this project into what I believe will be a remarkable community building opportunity for the region. As we know, Puget Sound has always been the place to be in the summer, and with 20 artist-designed pianos encouraging our community to get out and play, the Emerald City will truly feel like the city of music. We are honored to make pianos in the parks possible for the community to discover and rediscover their parks and open spaces. The good news is I'm your last speaker. Let's have some fun. Shenandoah, Sean, can you come back? Thank you.
Thank you. I say thank you.
Is this? Yeah, there we go. I have not been empowered to speak for the community of musicians in Seattle, but I've never let that stop me before. So I would just like to say thank you to everyone that you have seen speak here today, the city and county government and all the sponsors and everybody for finding ways to enhance and provide weird and strange ideas for to further the music life of the city, and especially having a thing like a piano in a park. It's a little incongruous, but when you consider the all the talk you hear about music education being on the wane in public schools, it's really nice to have access to instruments, because that's really the core of all education. So yeah, and thanks also to our most precious natural resource, KEXP. This is a song that I wrote a long time ago, and it's about people who sort of leave Seattle complaining that Seattle doesn't get them, and it seemed especially appropriate in light of a creative program like this.
Drive across the country, tell your story walking. No one's keeping you captive in the town that let you down. So sorry, blame it on the television, blame it on the company. Don't blame it on the fundamental fact that no one owes you something. I've come about my share, I only want what's fair. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not greedy like everybody else. I want to pay my dues. I only want someone to tell me who to make the check out to. Maybe we could run away and start a little repertory movie house or something. She said, sorry, but I think you might be just projecting. But here's the dough. Pike Street to Park Slope, Brooklyn.
community of dabblers who are vain and fond of biting backs. Debate it when our friends become successful in a different school whose energies are spent evading income tax and hoarding gold and silver by the chestful. Maybe we could run away and start a little repertory movie house or something. She said, sorry, but I think you might be just projecting onto me. Why don't you try LA? Pike Street to Park Slope, Brooklyn. Well, when you like something, it's an opinion. But when I like something, it's a manifesto. Pomposity is when you always think you're right. Arrogance is when you know. Maybe we could start a little independent repertory movie house or something. She said, sorry, but I think you might be just protecting your investment, or else assigning blame. Pike Street to Park Slope, Brooklyn. Thank you very much.